How's it going, everybody? GodBaer here. Once again, thank you for clicking into one of my videos. We are back on the online Rams franchise. I will be showing you guys 3 quick statistics for 3 computer games. Not going to show you in depth each player just because there are 3 of them and that would take a little bit of time. And I want to hurry up and get to this game right here. 2-9-0, the only 2 undefeated teams in the league at this point. And one of us is going to get our double-digit win, and the other one's going to go home with the first loss of the season as we had Tavon Austin for a touchdown. But Matt Scott just being how Matt Scott plays at times and just does not connect. And that hurt us because obviously that was a touchdown pass. Matt Scott can't put it on the money, and my opponent gets the ball. And he also does not have a very good quarterback because Joe Flacco is hurt on his team. But we all know he's got Brashard Perriman, and I hate this man. Anytime someone has a weapon like him, it's never fun playing against him because you're almost stuck playing cover 4 or 2-man under because you have to make sure you have people deep enough just in case they streak him. And even then, that man with his 97 speed still beats your DBs and gets a touchdown. But right now, he's getting inside our red zone. We're popping his tight end, injuring him for the rest of the game, and we're happy about that. But then we got Mark Barron, who's going to go ahead and steal the ball from my opponent, getting our first turnover of the game. And we got to get this run game going with Todd Gurley because at this moment he is also the league leading rusher, and we got Matt Scott scrambling out of the pocket, just picking up the first down. That's all that we really wanted. We weren't going to try to pick up any more, and then we're going to throw to Tavon Austin, and guess what? The self-destruction is still real. Tavon Austin doesn't even attempt to catch that pass, and that would have at least been a first down, but luckily my opponent gets smacked right there. He's got Kellen Moore, for those of you that didn't get to see the name right there because it went by pretty quick. But then we're picking up a sack with Nick Fairley, and then 3rd and 16. He's looking for somebody. He's going to end up throwing this one to Steve Smith, but he's not the fastest of players, so luckily we get the ball back to our offense. Still a 0-0 game into the second quarter. And this is not quite how I was expecting this game to go, as we're going to hit my opponent with some read option with Matt Scott, who's going to go ahead and pick up the first down for us. And with 2 9-0 teams, I expected this to be a shootout or a heavy defensive battle, as you see Matt Scott tripping up his user a little bit. He was definitely salty about that one because he knew that he could have played it better, as we had a wide open, not wide open, but he would have at least caught it for a touchdown if it would have been a better pass. And then the very next play, we get a good run with Monte Ball, but it gets a flag, and now we got a 3rd and 20 looking for somebody. We got a wide open Paul Richardson, but he catches it and drops it. But at least we're going to come away with a field goal. So a lot of bad things in our last 3 possessions that have not been able to get us anywhere down the field, besides that last one where we got down the field, but it stalled us out by hurting us. And right here, my opponent's going to hit us with back-to-back pitches. And that first one, we knew the pitch was coming off the QB run because he was in the Wildcat, but we were a little off with our timing, and he ends up getting it out to Jeff Demps. And right here, this is why I don't like Brashard Perriman. He gets touchdowns, but he's got this weird little route. It's a flood play, and it's not quite an out route. It's more like an outward post route. Is right there. I know that was a very risky pass, but it ended up paying for us. We threw into double coverage and user coverage, but we end up getting it, and I believe that was Matt Scott's first or second completion of the game. As once again, we're going to get taken down for a sack. 3rd and 15, looking for somebody. We're going to try to scramble right here. We're running with Matt Scott. We're sliding down and not picking up the first down, so we end up punting the ball because this is a sim league. So we punt it, even though I really wanted to go for that, just because at that moment I needed a momentum play and really needed that. But luckily my opponent stalls out too, punts us the ball, and this is a defensive war right here. And I don't know what it is with me and the Ravens, but it's always a defensive war. Like, I just struggle against the Ravens. I played against Graven, and he played with the Ravens, and I had the Seattle Seahawks struggle against them. I believe it was a 3 or 7 point game. Played against Life for Days Keanu. He had the Ravens. I believe that was a 3 or touchdown game, something like that. But luckily my opponent throws an interception right here, gets us the chance to finally gain the lead or make it a 1 point game. And we got a wide open Jared Cook. And once again, Matt Scott. He is 1 for 12 passes. I have no idea what is going on with Matt Scott this game. He has never played this poorly for me. Like, I don't know if it's just the rain. Like, I have his throw accuracy short to an 80 something, his throw accuracy mid to an 80 something, and his throw accuracy deep to a 72 or something like that. So I have no idea why he's throwing this poorly. It's not like his accuracies are ass like he's throwing in this game, but he's got to play better, as we're finally sort of getting this run game going, as we had 3 blockers versus 2 people, and I guess it's just the Ravens. They did a good job and tackled us, but finally Matt's got thrown a dot to Desmond Lewis, and we have completed 4 of 15 passes now, so we're on a little bit of chain of completing passes as we get sacked by Courtney Upshaw. 3rd and 14. I pushed 2 buttons right here. I'm assuming was out of my game in this game, because I wanted triangle on the slant. He had at least the first down, but I hit 2 buttons, which was square and triangle, and it throws up the square, which was covered very well. And then arguably play of the game right here, we smack the kick returner and got him to fumble the ball, but we do not recover it. So now my opponent's gonna hit us with that chew clock and try to get this game over with, because it has been a war. Obviously he is only down by 1 point. If we have 2 field goals and 1 touchdown in this entire game, you know it's a defensive battle, so we got to try to get this ball back. You know he's got that chew clock on, like I said, and he's just trying to kill us right now. And this tight end's going to start that stiff arm us and then get big shotted, but the fumble goes out of bounds, and we just cannot catch a break right now, so we need something to go our way. And right here, 1st and 10 for my opponent, once again scrambling with this man. I'm smashing X, but can't get him. But he does pick about 8 yards, and once again, he's going to hit us with the pitch play. Justin Forsette's going to try to get this touchdown, but get tackled down at the 1 yard line. He does get tackled for 2 losses on attempting to run. And then our man Michael Brockers is going to get another sack. So we got 1 second left, and he does kick a field goal to make it 4 points. So we got this linebacker right here is breaking tackles, trying to get through everybody as the very last play, but obviously unsuccessful. I don't think anybody has ever had a onside kick return for a touchdown. We almost had one right there just because we broke a tackle, but wasn't going to help us there. And that's 3 user games in a row in this league that my team has struggled on me. Obviously the Ravens quarterback struggled quite a bit as well, but we definitely got to get the self-destruction team to get back on the momentum team and get some wins. Obviously that was our first loss of the season, but right here I'm going to show you guys the stats. Both of us had a 50% completion percentage and a 25% completion percentage, and if we only have 35 passing yards on offense, you know you're struggling, and we need to do much better that game. Obviously he didn't even have 100 passing yards as well. He at least had 100 rushing yards with combined of Kellen Moore and Justin Forsett, but our team on offense was just not helping us. Luckily we got that nasty defense from these St. Louis Rams, but wasn't enough to pull off the victory for us. But I knew going into this game it was going to be a war regardless, just because hey, both teams were not undefeated for a reason. But luckily for him, he goes home with the 2nd digit win of the season at 10, and we go home with our first loss of this season. And right now I'm showing you guys these season statistics just because obviously we are past the halfway mark. I just had 3 CPU games and wasn't going to show you guys, you know, a video without any actual gameplay, because that would have been no fun to watch. Nobody just wants to see numbers on the screen and me just talk my ass off and all ramble about random things. Anyways though, we're going to go ahead and get to the defensive side right here, which has been standing up for us. We got that man Bryce Hager, our rookie, leading in tackles. And then, of course, you know Aaron Donald leading in sacks with 6. Robert Quinn right behind him at 6.5. And then a bunch of other people with 3, and a ton of them with 0.5, which is half a sack. I don't get even why you say half a sack. But then interceptions, Brandon Watts, that man we picked out of the free agency that we user with. And then, of course, Trumaine Johnson right behind him with 5, because that man is a monster. And we're going to go ahead and go look at defensive touchdowns, which you know Brandon Watts got 1. And then Darren Bates has 1. And then Brandon McGee, and I think Brandon McGee only has 1 interception. And then here is how the NFC West is playing. The Seahawks haven't played their game this week, so he might be tied with us in the division, which is not nice. And then, of course, we are number 2 right there, and the Seattle Seahawks, which are in the division, are at number 3. So, and But the only team to beat the Seattle Seahawks is these Rams, so I'm hoping that when we face again, I will beat him again and stay one game up. But he's got a good chance about evening it up right now, and I got a nice division right here. Like usual, the NFC West is very strong, and that is going to conclude this video. If you want to watch another GodBaer video, here is some horror on Gary's mod, and then our QB franchise, which had a nasty run game. And until next time, everybody, GodBaer out.